My dad kicked me out of the house at 16 years old. He took all my clothes out of my closet at 1:30 a.m.
I do not like friendships where you feel like you have to dim yourself in order to make them feel comfortable. That's not your job.
You know, I remember I had my first sex on the beach when I was 16.
Wait, what? You had sex on the beach?
Yeah, it's a drink, bitch.
No, I thought you really did.
No.
You had the drink. Okay,
Listen,
that is a completely different context.
Yes.
Can we just? Okay, so it was a
But I'm
drink.
saying-
Listen, mature relationships are ones that understand pauses. Welcome to our podcast. We are Romina and Maria from Members Only Palm Beach on Netflix, streaming now. And if you have not already watched all 8 episodes, I want you to get out from under the rock that you're under and go and stream that shit and watch that show, because we are ready for season 2. And it actually already has started unraveling in our lives, actually. I love that. You're like...
I'm trying to find a comfortable way to get
when
this
like you got that
microphone
date in the car and you're like, picture, hey there, good looking.
Hello.
How
How do I get closer?
We're so creepy. Honestly, if we were dudes, like trying to bust the moves on a chick, we'd be like,
I call Roman a creeper all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because he's like what? Like a creeper? Like is his style kind of like that?
Like sometimes he does stuff and I'm like, oh my God, you're such a creeper.
I totally would be like a creeper.
A creeper? Yeah, I see that.
Like I'm not obviously, the one that's like courting, like the aggressor.
God, I see that.
I
feel like I would be like the honestly like the best date and like the coolest guy.
Really?
I would really take care of my woman.
I love that.
Yeah. I'd be a great boyfriend.
Like if you were a guy.
If I was a guy.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'd be a great boyfriend too, but I think I got more.
You'd be a creeper.
Yeah, because I have more of an aggressive style.
Well, Roman can be like that a little bit. Not in a bad way. It's just.
Yeah, like he's very assertive. Like
assertive.
Damon's personality is different. It's much more. I mean, he's very type A personality, like in all other parts of his life. But when it comes to like the whole courting thing and the relationship, he's a little bit more laid back. He's not like very aggressive, like with his pursuit. You know what I mean? He's like, whatever, babe, whatever you want, And I'm like, whatever I want.
Yeah, he's also older now. I wonder how he was when he was like younger.
I know, maybe he was a creeper too. I missed his creeper days. I actually met him when he was like 41.
Yeah.
So
that's like a mature, like men start to mature around 40.
When I first met him, he was single and he had a cat. He was living alone in a condo and he was like, had a chiropractic practice. But I was like, okay, why is he still single at 41? Like, why are you still single at 41? I'm like, he's either gay or a gigolo. Like, I honestly thought he was either gay or a gigolo. I'm like, he has a cat. Like, and first of all, like, is it just me? Like a single guy with a cat? Is that normal? I don't know. Like
Roman would have had a cat.
Topics of the day. Okay. We're actually talking about friendships today because obviously a lot's been happening, after like wrapping up the show and doing like media and stuff like that. It's picture like having normal friendships on a regular day. And then I think like having to navigate your friendships when you're all out in the public. Like that's kind of weird. And I started thinking about like, I have my regular friendship persona, but now it's like the other day you said, oh, should I say something or should I hold on? Like, I don't know if I have to, like, I don't even know if I have to wait to, you know what I mean? To tell this person, like, what if we film tomorrow? Like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's weird sometimes.
Well, I feel like that, the public also wants certain visuals or certain conversations that they want to be a part of. Mm-hmm. And even though this is our real life, we're also here to entertain. So it's like, which conversations do you have behind the cameras and which conversations do you have on the camera, because now I consider this like my life. Like I'm, on reality TV. I've always wanted that. So I obviously want to take it seriously, but these are our everyday lives and our everyday friendships and navigating them has definitely not been like the easiest thing.
No, I think too, because like Romina and I, we try to really keep things authentic. So I think what happens is that like a lot of times when we want to, say something or have a conversation, like we know it's coming from the heart. So that's why like Romina's like, do I say something? Do I hold on to it? Like that reminds me of like, how sometimes when you are in the moment, like feelings, and you actually take like, your phone and you're like texting somebody, you're like, I'm going to say something. And you type out this entire text and you're like,
I did that today.
And then
deleted it.
And then you don't send it.
I did that today.
Do you find that therapeutic? Or are you like, I feel like it kind of feels like you sent something.
I feel like I got whatever I needed off my chest, but I didn't need to share it with the other person because it's just not worth it, because I may have already said similar things to the other person and it didn't change their behavior. So what is the point? If I'm unhappy with how a friend is treating me, and I feel like I'm giving more, I'm just at the point in my life where I'm done being the one to constantly reach out, constantly invite, constantly make effort, and there's like no effort being put back. So that's where I'm like, don't you feel like that's where you are? I don't know. That's how I am in this point of my life, because I've always been the one to invite and, and like create these like fun times. But it's just, I feel like it's unfair when you're just, when it's like a one-way street.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like that's like maturity, like in relationships. I feel like maybe if we were younger, you probably would be maybe back and forth with it. But like in that moment where you said that you didn't actually send the text, it's almost like it's growth. Like you realize that, hey, I'm not going to get back from this relationship what I feel like I want from it or what I'm putting in. Yeah. And I feel like that sometimes too, I feel like I go all in sometimes and then I get frustrated because I don't get the same in return. And Damon always says that. I go
all in every time. That's my problem. Like if I love someone or if I care for them or if I want to be their friend, I put in the effort into that. And like so many times I don't get that back.
Right.
And that's just been like, I don't know, like a cycle, like a repeating situation in my life.
Yeah.
And I just think like I'm too old for that. I'm too old for, not too old, but just like you said, like matured. Yeah. I've matured to the point of knowing that like if you're explaining to them that you're upset about something that they're doing and they're not fixing that and they're still doing that, then it's just like, what's the point? I've already tried. I've been outspoken with you. I've told you how it makes me feel and you still haven't changed that. So
that kind of feels like when we filmed and we were sitting outside of Coco's house and I said to you that I needed you to show up for the friendship. And you're like, well, maybe you do cry too much.
Yeah, but then what did I do?
It was growth.
I showed up.
Yeah. So that's something that like viewers didn't get to see, is that in that moment, I had a lot of people actually reach out to me and they're like, Romina's emotionally unavailable. Why are you two still friends? And I said this, in the comments. I feel that sometimes friendships are worth fighting for. And there's so much more that Romina brings to the friendship. I also know that we have two different styles. And that's why when we did the therapy, people were like, was the therapy real? It was damn real for me. Like Andrea, she's like the woman who puts me back together. She's my toolbox. So anytime I have an issue with somebody, most of the time it's been my husband. But this time I brought Romina to Andrea and I really just wanted for us to understand each other because I felt like we were speaking two different languages.
Well, by the way, someone told me that it seemed like Andrea agreed with me at the therapy session.
Well, the funny thing is,
I don't know. I couldn't tell that she agreed with either of us, but
no.
But someone was like, it seemed like Andrea was like on your side about everything. I was like, really? Oh, okay.
Well, listen, I think at the end of it all, like, obviously they didn't use the whole therapy session either. I think she did try to give us both feedback
for our friendship styles, our communication styles.
Yes, but I do agree with what you just said. I do agree that it did feel like the work walking away from that. I feel like Andrea put it more on my basket to like work on, because she basically was saying, listen, if Romina is telling you that this is the extent of what she can give you, because maybe she's carrying her own weight and maybe that's her style. And I didn't really recognize that, because you tend to be somebody that kind of shuts down a little bit because that's how you preserve your peace or whatever. I saw it as a closed door and I was like, I'm like, bitch, open the door.
Imagine what I was going through.
I got emotional baggage.
Yeah. I was going through my own shit. And even though like 100% I want to be here for you, but it's like, and I was trying to be here for you. It was just like a lot. And like you needed me 100%. I couldn't give 100%.
Right. And I think it was the first time too, because, listen, our filming schedule was intense. I was already going through stuff at the time, like in my overall life, that I think that it was the first time Romina ever encountered like that intensity from me during that period of time. So she was like, whoa, because most of the time we're jokers. We roll around, we're idiots. So Romina was like, pull yourself together.
Yeah, get it together.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just like, what the hell?
But I think communication in friendship is super important. And as long as you...
I said flaky.
Yeah, listen to each other. And like, for example, today Maria called me flaky about a situation, and I got really upset, and I stood up for myself, and I told her, don't call me that. That's not how I am. That is not the truth. Like, I stand up for you more than you know, like, especially when you're not there and people can say some not nice things. I'm always like, that's my friend. Don't fucking talk shit. And that is true. And I literally,
love that.
and I do that. And I do that for Rosalind. And I do that for any of my friends who I love and appreciate. I don't allow other people to say not nice things about people I care about. But it's not even just that. It's about me telling you, hey, that wasn't nice. That made me upset. And then, or you telling me, hey, I need you here. Like, it's about communication. And if we're both putting the effort, any friendship is like a marriage. Like, you have to put in the effort or it's not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
So if it's a one-sided effort situation, I'm sorry, at the end, like, at some point, that person that's giving their all and getting nothing is going to give up. And that's where I'm at with some people in my life.
Well, listen, I'm glad that you're starting to see that too, because I feel like sometimes the reason why I'm so like relentless and like trying to teach you lessons, because I feel like I've been around a little bit longer.
And you see that I'm
years.
Just like,
you're supposed to remind me it's 12 years.
too nice to some people.
I see that you keep coming back with more, you know, like you give more forgiveness when I feel that they're not there for you. And
like, it's not deserved.
It's not deserved. Like, you know, at that point, mature relationships are where you draw boundaries. And they're for your own preservation and health, you know? Like, if somebody doesn't show up for you, it doesn't mean that you have to cut them off. But I've learned that you can create boundaries that then keeps you from feeling like you're draining yourself, and you know what to expect. So you're like, okay, last time I came and called on you, you didn't show up for me. Like, so now I understand that our friendship is here. Like, it's not where I thought it was. So like next time I'm not going to have that expectation, and you know, we're good. Like, I'm not going to put more into it and expect more out of it type deal.
Exactly. Like, I'm kind of like, okay, this is where you stand. I really believe that you got to accept everyone for who they are. But at the same time, I'm not going to keep putting in effort and keep inviting and keep creating, you know, fun times if you don't do that for me. Like, sorry.
I do agree. And then I feel also too is that the one thing that I've been dealing with lately is that like the expectations, like they have to be also healthy. Because I feel like one thing that I've been dealing with a lot lately is the expectations from some, you know, and not a lot, like one or two friendships that I've had where it's too much and you don't have that much to give. So now you're on the other end, right? But I feel like I'm being healthy. Like, I feel like I'm offering my friendship. You know, like when you have a friend and it feels like they're like a boyfriend, like their expectations.
I've had those.
Yes. And their expectations are like, you know, you didn't respond quick enough, or they want you to beg them to come out, or they want like a lot of emotional maintenance. And I know, like, listen, I know on the show, it seemed like I had like a need for a lot of emotional maintenance.
You did.
You know what it was? Honestly, at the time, I just needed for someone to listen. Like, honestly, I feel like it was the first time that I was saying a lot of things out loud. And this is like, these are things that I'd never said out loud before.
Like about your mom and stuff.
Yeah. So I felt like I needed, like, if other people,
extra attention at that time.
If they heard it and they acknowledged it, then it was real. I was validated, because I feel like for my whole life, you know, it was swept under the rug and it was always denied. It was like, no, I didn't. No, it's not. So for me to be saying it, to have the balls to say it out loud, and then for people to be like, wow, okay, I see you. So
sometimes you need a little bit of extra attention.
I think that's what it was.
You know, when you're going through something, you need extra attention. It's just that I was silently going through my own shit.
And I didn't see that.
Yeah, but which is fine.
But I do feel
you needed me, and I really tried to be there.
Yeah.
As much as I could.
No, you did. You did. I mean, I did see it afterwards. Like, I really did, especially like after we did therapy. And then you had a moment where you were like, oh my God, I can't take this anymore. And then you ended up crying. You know what I mean? And then I was like, okay, whoa. I was like, Romina is human too. You know what I mean?
I'm also just
but yeah, I feel like sometimes it's to an unhealthy level. Like when you have friendships where they expect a lot from you and it feels like a boyfriend. And I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I'm married, you have kids, you know, the kind of, listen, mature relationships are ones that understand pauses. Like, we can talk, Romina and I, like in the summertime, because, you know, she goes away, I go away. We'll go days without talking sometimes. And we just kind of jump back on as if it's nothing.
We usually talk almost every day though.
Yeah. Like in some way, like we'll send each other like whatever. But sometimes we don't have like good, like connected experiences, you know, especially in the summertime. Yeah. But we're still on the same page. Like, you know what I mean? It's not as if friggin' I'm like, oh my God, where you been?
So reaction versus response. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, you know what, we were actually going to talk about, what was it? Emotional regulation. Can we talk about emotional regulation? Because reaction versus response.
What do you mean by emotional regulation?
So reaction versus response is just like emotional regulation, which was kind of what you saw go down in season 1, where I was having a hard time regulating my emotions.
Yeah. I feel like usually I'm good at that, but I was really pushed to the edge.
Yeah.
When I'm pushed to the edge, obviously, no. But for the most part, I feel like I have good emotional regulation.
Right.
I think having a son so young and just like learning patience, like really helped me. I was thinking about that like recently. That like, because a lot of people say, oh, like you're so patient, because it looked patient on the show. And I am a very patient person. I feel like having a child who was extremely hyper, who had behavioral issues, helped me. Do you think that having kids helped you?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like having my son, it just was a game changer in so many ways.
How old were you when you had him?
At 29. I wasn't that young.
23.
I was 29. And I was ready to have kids, but I was like, I really don't need anything else. I'm just going to have this kid because it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool, she said. Oh my. But I just feel like, it just completely changed me. And I used to be very selfish in my friendships. You actually just reminded me. Before having my son, I remember I had a really good friend. And we were friends for years. And there was one point that we had plans to go out on a Friday night, but I really had to go to the gym. I'm like, I got to go to the gym. And she's like, we're going to be late. Like, you'll never get ready in time. And I'm like, I don't care. I got to go to the gym at all costs. And then I'll get ready and we'll go out. Like, it was non-negotiable. And we just got into a huge argument. And she was like, you're being so selfish. And at the time I was like, she just doesn't understand. And I didn't realize that I really was being selfish. Like, I can't sacrifice. Like, we had these plans and these plans included other people. So in that moment, I was young, I was like naive. But then when you have a child and, life shows you that it's not all about you. And I really started to become more compassionate about people. Like,
I think that's also like an issue with women having children like older in life. It's harder, I think, when you start later because you have all this freedom and you're used to all this freedom that once that freedom is taken away, it might be a little harder. I don't know. It's just what I'm thinking because I never had freedom. I went from my parents to getting married to having a kid. There was really never a time I was like, free. So I just feel like maybe that's when that selfishness like occurs because you get to have all this you time and then that gets taken away. As opposed to when you have kids young, you never have you time.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had a lot of freedom growing up. So for me, it wasn't really that case. I had the opposite.
I didn't have that. I didn't have freedom at all.
I was a bit of a wild child.
My parents were very strict.
You really? My dad was like the pretty cool one, so.
My dad kicked me out of the house at 16 years old. He took all my clothes out of my closet at 1:30 a.m. because I came home from like a restaurant. It wasn't even like partying or anything. I was just like at a Italian restaurant where like all the Russians hung out in Philly. And I came home, it was like 1 o'clock or 1:30. I was like 16 years old. When I got home, he took a suitcase, took all of my clothes, like on the hangers, off of my closet hanger or whatever. I put it into a suitcase and threw the suitcase from the second floor to the first floor. I said, get out.
Oh my God.
It was wild. And then I left and my mom calls me 5 minutes later. Where are you? I'm like, my dad just kicked me out. And my mom said, get back home right now. So I was kicked out for 5 minutes.
Oh my God. The time that I got kicked out for 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes.
But in those moments, it feels extreme.
It was very extreme. Yeah. I mean, like, I remember I was like hyperventilating. I was like calling my friends to see who was going to pick me up. And then like, obviously I went back home, but.
Oh my gosh.
My parents were really strict. Okay? I was
Really?
not allowed to like just go out. Like
Yeah.
my brothers had to cover for me a lot.
Oh my God. That
Yeah.
would suck.
It was amazing though having older brothers because they would
Yeah.
just tell my parents.
I'm surprised that they
that I
covered
was
for
with-
you.
They did.
Because usually older brothers are like really overprotective and they don't want
No.
you going out.
No, they would either take me out with them, which they
Mhm.
took me to bars and stuff when I was 16 years old. Like,
Mhm.
you know, I remember I had my first like sex on the beach when I was 16.
Wait, what? You had sex on the beach?
Yeah, it's a drink, bitch.
No, I thought you really did.
No.
You had the drink.
I had
Okay.
the drink.
That's
I had the
listen, that is a completely different context.
Yes.
Can we just, okay, so it was a
But I'm
drink.
saying so they would either take me out with them or
How
they
old were
would
you?
cover for me. From the time I was like 14, they would
Yeah.
cover for me. And then when I was 16, they started taking
Me
me to
too.
bars with them.
Yeah, I would go out that.
But I
14,
loved
16.
it.
I know, me too. I had
My
fake
God,
ID.
I honestly like always loved hanging out with my brothers, but either way, they
Mhm.
never gave me a hard time.
Yeah.
They were never super overprotective. They always like let me live
Yeah.
my life, which
Well, that's
was
good.
amazing. I know.
I was like that with my brother. He was 3 years younger. So I used to like bring him out and stuff like that. I mean, having siblings is helpful. It's just like, I think that's your first relationship compatibility. Like you have no choice when they're siblings, but then you start choosing your relationships when you start getting friends. And then the funny that you just mentioned that because you guys got along. So one thing to think about, because I was thinking about this yesterday too, is that with like girlfriends, like you think because like you the vibes match. So like you find somebody where like the matching vibes were like, hey, I like the way you dress. I like this. I like that. And you're like, oh my God, we're friends. We have so many interests.
Yeah.
But
no.
only that matches. And then the values and stuff don't line up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we put so much more emphasis on a relationship, like when we're looking for a husband, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or whatever. And when, like, is it compatible? Like same religion, I want children. Do you want children? But when we're choosing friends, we're like, you meet in the bathroom. You're like, oh my God, you're cute. Where's your skirt from? You want to be friends? And you don't put any other emphasis a lot of times.
Yeah.
And you start hashing it out.
Exactly. Not everyone has the same values as you. Like to me, I value friendships.
Yeah.
I value relationships. I value those
Yeah.
things. Those things I think are important. Like I would love to have lifelong friends, but I don't have that.
Right. I think that's
my cousins
probably
are
the problem. Your cousins, because they're
Yeah.
family. And
Yeah.
so I feel like that's part of the problem though. Do you feel that like sometimes like we meet girls and we're like, oh my God, let's be friends. And then the values and like all the other stuff doesn't line up, like who's looking for what. And I feel like a lot of times I cast a wide net because I'm like, oh my God, they're so nice. And we go out. And then you start to realize that the quality of the friendship is not what you thought it was.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how Palm Beach is. Like everybody asks what it's like. It's like layers upon layers of different types of like
No
social.
way.
Yeah. Like different layers of like social circles. And only few people are in your inner circle.
Do you feel like it's so pretentious, right?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, like when I go to a lot of functions, I'll see people and these are people I see at these events all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hi, how are you? Air kisses. How you been? You take pictures together, you do the do. And then you go home, but they're not people that I would ever like text, and then you have like the in-betweens where it's kind of like you guys text, you're friendly. You always say, we should do lunch, but you never really do. And then you have the others that you talk to all the time. I feel like there's like maybe 4, 5, 6 layers.
No, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
But I think it's figuring out which layer they fit into is what the difficult part is.
Yeah.
Is like sometimes, for me at least, I expect a lot more and receive a lot less. And I expect more usually because I'm ready to give off more,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, this person's so cool. Like you said, like I love the way they dress. I love the way they, look. I love the way, I love their, like, I don't know, interests. We have like the same passions, the same thoughts, the same interests, blah, blah. You just like, you think you have all these things in common, but it's not always enough.
I know. And then I get burnt. And then Damon, like my husband says to me, he's like, you know what? You go all in all the time. I tell you, like you give too much. You just.
Roman says too.
I know.
You literally.
But I don't know how to do it any other way.
Me too. I don't know.
I can't be half-assed. I can't be fake. I can't be like. I'm passionate. I love hard. I live loud.
It's like, I'm the same way. It's like we're friends or we're not.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find like a middle ground.
Well, yeah, especially when you're like, these kind of friendships, where it's like not what you expect them to be, and it's like somewhere in between. And the other thing too is that you find that people like they latch onto you because you've made it in somewhere and they want to make it in.
And that fake friend thing.
Yes. Like all of a sudden now it's like, oh, you're cool, you're in. They pretend to be your friend.
And then they talk shit behind your back. That's the worst.
That's a whole other story. Do you have like 4 chapters? Do we have like 4 more podcasts? Yeah, we actually, especially now that the show obviously is out into the world, it's, people did warn us. They were like, listen, trust me, it's going to be fast and furious. And Romina and I were so like these wanderlust, like just kindness to the world. And not that we're clueless, but a lot of times we're like open arms. Hey, let's hang out. And you realize the intentions are not good.
Yeah, I love to include everyone, but I do realize that not everyone loves to include me. And I do know that I have a big personality, and then maybe I can like take away from their, I don't know, from their light, from their attention, and maybe certain people that get uncomfortable or envious of that, maybe then that's why they don't invite me.
I always say that the friendships that I want are the ones that, they can celebrate, your light.
You for who you are.
And I always say that, like, I'm going to show up and I am going to march in your parade. I'm not going to rain on your parade. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be part of the drum line. I'm going to be like, go girl. Because I really want to see other people succeed. Like, it makes me happy to see other people happy. Like, I have like a, what do you call it? Like a servant personality where I like to service people like emotionally. That doesn't sound good. I like to service people.
Call 1-800-MARIA. 1-800-TUMBLES. Is that 7?
Yeah.
7 numbers?
For your free coupon. But I just, you know what? I can't do it any other way. So it makes me happy. Like, I like to see other people succeed, but sometimes those friendships I don't like. I do not like friendships where you feel like you have to dim yourself in order to make them feel comfortable. That's not your job. That is not your job.
You made me feel like that once.
Wait, when?
Well, before we started filming, and you were like, Romina, you got to let other people talk. It's not Romina TV.
Oh, yeah. But did I? Well, first of all, I'm sorry if it was taken very impactfully. I feel like we give each other a lot of advice, and maybe that one hit hard. I feel like, because I'm like that too. And we always kind of tell each other to shut up. Like, we'll be talking and we're like talking over each other. And then all of a sudden, sometimes Romina will be like, shut up. And then I'll be like,
you said it. You literally said it on camera. Too.
But you've said it to me a couple of times too. You're like, shut up, listen, I'm telling you something. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening.
Well, because I know when like you need to just like hear it so I can finish what I'm saying.
Yeah, but me too.
Let me finish, Yeah, but I feel like I was literally talking to my friend about this recently because I have met some amazing people in like the last few years where I don't feel like uncomfortable by being who I am, and we can talk above each other, and we don't need to tell each other to shut up, and we can like be comfortable talking, and like I realize when I need to stop, and the other person realizes when they need to stop, and it's so much more organic and comfortable to be friends with someone like that who understands, who's not afraid of your light, who's not afraid of your, ability to not shut up.
Well, do you think sometimes too, because we were thrown in a situation where it was like fast paced and we literally would get on the phone, because when we were filming, we really weren't talking that much outside of our filming scene. So it was like we would connect and we'd have like 2 minutes to talk to each other and be like, okay, listen, and I'd be like, I'm not done yet. Just shut up. Listen to this.
Well, I think both of our issues is we're afraid that we're going to forget what we need to say.
Yeah.
And like maybe when you said that to me, you didn't realize that I'm the same way, that like I have to get it out or I'm going to forget.
Yes.
Like I can forget in the middle of my conversation.
Me too.
What I need to say. Like if I can go off topic.
Yeah.
But that's just like, that's the ADHD, I think, that like.
Yeah. I would never want you to feel that way. Like listen, I'm so sorry if it came across as me dimming your light. I just feel like we're so relaxed in the way we give each other feedback. Like no different. When you say stuff to me, I don't feel like you're dimming my light. Like, remember that time we were taking photos? We went out to that club and we were on the retro, whatever, washing machine, and we were like posing. Ramina's like, we're going to have to talk about your posing. I'm going to have to teach you how to pose. And I'm like, bitch, I've been posing circa friggin' like 1974, okay?
I just felt like
before you were a little spermy.
There was just like a little bit of like too much vagina action. And I'm like.
Oh, but I was wearing shorts.
Exactly.
I know, but this is where I felt like, I love like my energy and how I pose. So I felt like in that moment, like, how's Romina going to try to like recalibrate me? Like, Don't try to dim my light, bitch. But I understand that you meant it in the best way possible.
Yeah, I just want you to look your best.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, I never want you to think that I feel like we're just so open with our opinions to each other that we're like, here, take this, put this in your pot, whether you like it or not.
Well, I'm an open person in general.
Yeah.
And I don't really get offended very often. But I guess sometimes things do like stick more with me than others. That was just one of the things that I think stuck.
Oh, I love you. And now I feel bad because that's the running joke. I'm always like, Romina TV. I mean, I think it's funny because it's like, as soon as I met you, it's like, I've never met somebody that even had close to my personality. So when I met Romina and I felt like it was my personality times another friggin' like 20. And it literally, that was the only way I could explain it. It was like, oh my God, hi, I'm Romina. I sing, I do clothes, I do this, I do that. I got 3 kids, I'm a mom.
Romina TV!
Yeah. And she's like, Romina TV. And I'm like, you changed channel. It's like it's Romina again. And I just thought it was
going on. Like I do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. Like,
but I think it's funny and it's cute and it's freaking hilarious.
I have a lot of dreams. I have a lot of passions. I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish in my life.
Yeah.
On top of being a wife and a mom and
I love that.
A housewife.
Yes.
Half the time I am.
Yeah. And I love that for you. I feel like a lot of times, in the beginning when you first landed in this friend circle, you were being criticized for it. And they were like, oh, Romina.
But that's been my whole life.
I know. But that's why it was like the Romina TV for me became funny. And I was like, no, bitch. It's like, it is what it is. It's funny. You're watching it on every channel. It's like, shut up.
It's crazy, like this 2016 trend is going on.
Yeah.
And so 2016 was the year that before I met Roman. And going back, I'm like, holy cannoli. Like I was doing so much. I was like in LA, like every other month, I'm like recording music videos. I'm like doing this, I'm doing that. So like yesterday it kind of was mean. And I was like to Roman, I'm like, you ruined my life. I was joking, but I was like, I did so much more before you were around. But then and like, obviously I still did a lot with him, but it definitely changed once I had, this relationship, especially because he says he didn't housewife me, but he totally housewifed me. I had 2 kids, two more kids. You see me, I'm always cooking, right? I'm like lunch, breakfast, dinner, like whatever.
Yeah.
He needs a lot of attention. So that takes away from my Romina TV.
Yeah. Well, listen, you do a good job balancing it because honestly, like you still find time to rotate all that stuff. But that is a lot.
It's a lot.
Like it is a lot. Are you kidding me? I have a hard time balancing. Now that Dallas is out of the house, I have a hard time balancing my own freaking schedule. And Damon's like,
imagine
oh my God.
3 kids on top of your schedule.
Yeah.
You're doing like DJing and you have a business, but like I'm doing music, I'm doing fashion, I'm doing like real estate stuff with Roman. I'm trying to finish my taxes right now.
So am I. Oh my gosh. So I promised my husband that I have it done in the next 3 days and I'm starting to have like serious like anxiety. I've only gone through like one chunk of it and I'm like, oh Lord, please help me. I'd much rather do anything. Like I'd much rather do anything else than taxes. Like honestly.
You listen to that, Damon, do her taxes for her.
So at the end of the day, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Because we can be real with each other. Do you feel like sometimes like if somebody gives you feedback, like right now you gave me feedback and you're like, oh, that made me feel like, you dimmed my light. So are you open to like getting feedback and being like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do that again because it makes my friend feel a certain way? What? Or are you like, oh, that's just how I am, so I'm going to be like that anyways?
No, remember like how I messaged you as soon as I saw our episode and I'm like, oh wow, like, I maybe at that moment didn't see it, but I'm like, I see I was like not being as emotionally there as you needed me. So I'm going to try better. I'm always like, for me, I think that a part of me is always trying to be a better person. That's something I tell my kids. It's something that I work on myself. I always strive to be a better person. And I think that it's a constant like learning experience constantly. Like you're, even in our age, we're like obviously a little bit older, but yet I'm still learning, how to be a better person. So of course I take that, inside. There's things that I'm like, listen, I can't change that. Like, for example, like the tone of my voice, like, like I understand that I'm like, caca or whatever. Caca! In certain situations, that's when I'm excited, but that's something that's very hard for me to change. But like how I treat someone, I don't think.
I'm okay with the caca. Caca! I'm okay with it. I think it's kind of funny.
Well, it's just how there's things you can change about yourself and things you can't change.
Yeah.
Like you can't change the fact that you're short.
Listen, okay? Listen, okay? That's what they made friggin' stripper heels for. Speaking of stripper heels, you know what though? Honestly, I feel like when you're really comfortable with certain friends, it's almost like, how they say you unload emotionally more on the people that you're closest to.
Yeah.
So like, my husband and I sometimes like they're the first person to get the brunt of it when you're stressed out.
Yeah.
So like friends that are really close, like I even said to you, like at one point when we were filming, I felt like you were going back and forth, and I would see your friendship with Rosalind at one point, and I'd be like, why does she get so much preferential treatment? And I feel like I get kicked around. But you explained it really well. You're like, listen, I feel more comfortable being like all out. I don't feel comfortable being too hard with Rosalind because I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Remember I said, I'm like, because with you, I feel like you're stronger. I didn't realize. But at the time, Rosalind.
You were a strong bitch.
No. It literally went for me by like image, which is not the right way to do it, but that's just what I went. Rosalind seems a much more softer human being.
Yeah.
She's more like my little princess, and so she needs, I felt like she needed more of my like tender loving care. Whereas Maria, sumo wrestler over here, like, with her muscles popping, I'm like, come on, like you're a strong woman and you should
and
be
I cry the most.
Yeah. And I'm like, and you should be able to control your emotions. But they're such opposites, because on the contrary, Rosalind's also been through a lot, and she doesn't cry all the time, and she doesn't wear her emotions on her sleeve. And that's, not a bad thing nor a good thing. It's just how we all are. So sometimes I think people expect something out of other people until they learn, like, oh, wait, like, just because this person has muscles doesn't mean that she's strong on the inside.
I love your analogy. You take that from Romina, okay, folks? If you look strong, then you can put up with more emotional shit.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Personally. No, but for real.
No, it's true. I mean, listen, if I see a guy walking across the street and he's like 6 foot something and he's like, looks like he's a bodybuilder.
You're not going to expect him
I'm not going to expect him to come over and be like, oh, I lost my dog.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But actually, that's
especially during sex.
But it's usually how it is.
Pull yourself together, dude.
But it is usually how it is. The bigger they are, like the more sensitive they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes like big fat babies.
They call them like gentle giants.
Something like that.
That's how Pasha is, because he's so tall, but he's very like gentle, like kind-hearted, like softy inside.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we've learned a lot about each other. Like, especially, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like not every relationship is going to get the same version of you. And that's okay.
Yeah. Well, obviously
My landscapers are here right now, and it sounds like they're literally like
chainsawing someone. The chainsaw Texas massacre. Texas
chainsaw massacre, whatever the heck it's called. Anyways, but yeah,
8 minutes.
So at the end of the day, I think sometimes is like I've never really had like actually when I was younger, I had some really long friendships, but not many. It's very few relationships that I had for long periods of time because I felt like really misunderstood.
Same. Always felt misunderstood.
Yeah.
That was actually like I remember like I was trying to write songs about being misunderstood because I just felt like no one ever gets me, and like people just judge me for being who I am. That's why it's so nice right now, right? Like, are you so enjoying like people messaging you and saying like, I love you, don't ever change? Like that's one of the most common messages that I'm getting is like, you're awesome, don't ever change. That's literally the biggest compliment I can get.
We've been, honestly, so I feel like Romina and I were the most, because that's how we connect. We're so authentic. And that's the one constant that people are reaching out and saying to us is that they love that we're so authentic, and they're like, don't ever change.
And energetic, which not a lot of people have energy like that. So my friend Anna was saying,
I know, everybody's like, you two need your own show.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, well, listen.
My friend was saying, she's like, Maria is so energetic. I was like, yes, she is. Like,
I'm either on or I'm off. Like there's no in between.
Yeah.
But I feel like getting the love from everybody, it feels good. Because don't you feel that you finally found your people? Like it's like we found each other, but now that the world got to watch us, I feel like we found our people.
Yeah, I'm calling mine the Barbarian Dreamers.
I've always had like people who followed my DJing, so it was kind of like Tumbles Nation. I'm like, my peeps, my little army. Damon calls them Tumbles Army.
I love it. Obviously, that's like. And the fact
we
that
see
I'm
each other.
the fact that I'm inspiring people, like to me, that's so amazing because I like constantly was preaching, like I can't give up on my dreams. It was a conversation I had with Roman all the time because sometimes he'd be like, all right, like, aren't you like tired of this? Like, don't you see it's not going anywhere? Like, you can't just keep spending money and time on this. And I'm like, I cannot give up. Like, I cannot give up on my music. Like, I can't give up on my clothes. I'm like, these are my dreams. I just see these things working out for me. I don't know when. I understand I'm getting older. I understand I'm not getting younger, but I just cannot give up.
Me neither. And I worry because I feel like Damon is at a different stage. Like, honestly, he turns 60 in 2 weeks. And he's like, listen,
having a party?
I know we got to talk about that. I haven't planned anything. I'm going. So he says, he goes to me, babe, I'm ready to slow down. Like, I'm ready. And I'm like, I'm not done. I have one more freaking good run in me. Like, I have another dream. And I'm like, the other day you came over, I said, Romina, tell him, like, I just feel, you know, and I'm like, is this what happens to people? Like, do they, and I keep telling him, I'm like, we can't grow apart. We got to grow together. So I'm willing to like compromise with you. I don't have to go like conquer the world, but if you let me chase my dream, like to a certain extent, like come with me.
Yeah.
Because if you don't come.
You're going to cry? Don't cry. It's okay if you need to cry, but I get it because it's the same. You know, like I'll never forget this one moment. It was during COVID and I got wasted. And whenever I'm wasted, I always talk about my dreams. So like anyone that knows me knows that I've always wanted to be famous because I've always wanted to be a singer and like to be successful in music, you have to be famous.
Yeah.
And so I'm telling Roman this story and I'm saying there's this fire in me that I can't give up. Yes. And at that moment, but I'm not lying, at that moment, the club went on fire. Like,
that's almost like, yes, she did. No, she didn't.
But that was like my, you know, like when you ask God, like, give me a sign.
Yeah.
That was like my sign that like,
oh my gosh.
It was the bottle girls walking around, you know, like those like fire things, like in the bottles.
The club on fire?
she ended up like, the bottle ended up touching, like the fire thing on the bottle ended up touching a curtain and the curtain like went on fire.
And Roman was like, I am fucking with you, man. You can have any dream you want.
I'm like, you see, this is a sign. Like, it's like, that was my sign. And that was like 5 years ago, because it was like during COVID.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago, basically 5, 6 years already. And it was like, don't give up. Like, it was like, that was my sign. Like, I'm talking about there's a fire in me and the fire like started. And like, I constantly had those little signs that were like, you cannot stop, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I really believe that if you don't stop and you continue to pursue, that anything can happen. And like one of my podcasts that I did, I was saying like, just because you follow your dreams doesn't mean that it has to take 100% of your time. Like you can still be a mom, you can still be a wife, you can still give the people
what Damon says.
In your
life.
Like
in moderation.
Yeah, you can still.
And I don't know how to moderate. Like I do everything like 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
So and it breaks my heart because I don't want him to feel like left behind or, you know what I mean? I still want to give myself, like the other day he goes, let's go out on the boat. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, let's go out on the boat. Cause like he loves doing that. So I'm like, okay, let's go out for a little bit. And listen, I'll go out for like, we've gone out before for a couple hours, you know, up the Intracoastal. Girl, when I tell you that we went on this boat and he was so excited to be on the boat because we hadn't gone out in so long and we're going and we're going and we're going and we went through all of Palm Beach. We cleared Palm Beach. We were in Lake Worth. I was on the boat for 5 hours. I felt like it was Gilligan's Island. I'm like, is this ever going to end? I'm like,
did you have your phone with you or no?
No, because you know what? I was trying to give him 100%.
That's why, because
I didn't bring my phone. So now I'm like, and then at one point he felt so bad. He was like, listen, he's like, babe, I'm so sorry. I'll get you home soon. It was 5 hours.
Is that like too long for a boat? That seems like a normal time.
Not with no snacks. And I didn't bring any drinks. And I didn't bring my phone, like nothing. So I was just like kind of co-captaining, like staring. And then half the time it's loud because like you start going faster and I couldn't really talk to him. I don't have a quiet brain. So I'm like staring out, looking at the houses passing by, the ocean, the fish. I'm like counting clouds. I'm like, okay, I'm going to lose my shit right now. And then we got back.
That's my point though, is that like, that's what he needed and you need to give him that. And but you can still follow the dreams that you have. Now, of course, some people will tell you otherwise and they'll be like, no, you have to put 100% of your time. That may be somebody else's path, you know?
Yeah.
But you have to do what works for you. And like, on top of being this big dreamer and having all these things, I still have a family. I'm still a mom and I'm never going to like not give my kids attention. So I do it my way and I try to give it a little bit And that's like what some of the conversations that Roman has with me, because he's
Yeah.
like, well, you're not giving 100% of your time and you're doing way too many things. And I'm like, I'm going to make it work. I don't know how.
I get that too.
I'm going to make it work.
I can't believe we've got the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find balance too. I haven't gotten it right, but I know that I'm, like you said, I'm a work in progress. I'm a student for life. And I'm a constant like wanting to be an improvement of myself every day. So I always tell Damon, I'm like, tell me how I can be a better wife tomorrow. I'll tell me how I can be a better friend tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I think one thing we can agree on is that we love the love that we got from you guys, and it feels good. You guys write us so many messages with like your stories and everything, and I love it because you guys have shared so much.
Well, we hope to inspire, we hope to entertain, and we hope that you guys are enjoying Out Loud with Romina and Maria.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Peace out.
Bye, kids. Mama.